Yeah.
You the man.
Yeah. I sent it over to him. Also, just as a heads up, I have to run in an hour for a one-on-one at the gym.
You the man.
I'm gonna chill here.
I hope you turn them, sell them some steroids too while you're at it. Sell them a pair of Nano 2, some roids, and a fucking 3-year plan at CrossFit Livermore. Souza, I finally figured out what's all fucked up. I don't know what took me so long. It wasn't even my plan to think about this morning. But when I say black guy, or when I say Mexican, or when I say Armenian, people think about the way people look. Okay. So I was thinking about how Jews are more suited. It was going to be kind of funny, but kind of true. Remember that, that doctor that we're trying to get on it, that's going to talk about identity. And we played a clip of hers the other day, and she says size doesn't matter. And she said that women are attracted to, I think she was specifically referring to women, but probably men too, but women are attracted to men with, based on their earning potential, meaning like how much, and I take that probably the same way you do, not necessarily money, although that's a huge factor, but like how many fish you can bring home in a basket at the end of the day, right? Mm-hmm. How good you are at repairing the roof if a hurricane's coming. Just all the things that I think of meaning survival. But that's the crazy thing. And so Jews are good at picking that, but they don't pick it based on the way you look. And there's no cultural similarity that the average person could pick between a black man coming out of Chicago and a black man coming out of fucking Uganda or Nigeria. It has nothing. It's all culture. And the vast majority of the people in this country have it all fucked up. I'm going to say all of them, except for me. And you could, by the end of in the next 2 minutes, be as smart as me.
Awesome.
It's just culture. It's just culture. So if I were to say Mexicans are horrible at picking mates based on their earning potential, people would think I was talking about cholos and cholitos. I'm not even talking about the way someone looks. I'm talking about the culture. If I said that blacks were great at dancing, I'm not talking about blacks like people with melanated skin. I'm talking about black culture. But until we get the word straight, we're fucked. Because we live with idiots.
Well, that's true.
We just live with idiots. It's fascinating to me. It's just culture. And the vast majority, the perfect example is you cannot compare the culture of Armenians who were born and raised in LA to the culture of Armenians who live in Armenia. They're totally different.
So culture,
they're totally different. The culture of LA has dominated the people, the Jews and Armenians and Mexican of LA. Unfortunately, their culture is just fucked because just LA has such shitty culture. Los Angeles, California, just a bad place.
So culture has more predictive value than race does.
Race has none.
Zero.
Because
it changes depending on region.
Other than the fact that the people of those races are stupid enough to try to assimilate to the culture that suits their skin color. So like if you're like a Mexican in LA, there's a certain there's a certain process you take that culture has. Like, so for Middle Eastern people, it's open a liquor store. For Jews, it's open a jewelry store.
Interesting.
For a young black man, maybe you either become a rap star or a basketball player. It's just these cultural norms, but it has nothing to do with their skin color, or anything. You could flip the script. You could take the blacks and make them Jews, and the Jews blacks, and all of a sudden Jews will be ruling the NBA, and blacks will be fucking ruling liquor stores. It's there's nothing color related. I mean, it's like, duh, Sevan, everyone knows that, but no one says it.
Yeah,
everyone still refers to it as the black guy or the Jew guy or the Mexican guy when it has nothing to do with it. Those are cultural. Has nothing to do with the way you look. And size does matter. I mean, shit. Every morning when I fucking print out the notes to the show, I have to stand on a chair. It's a stair and a chair.
Step stool.
Thank you. And I have to turn on the printer. And when I do that, I have to do like a pistol up, assisted, and then a negative pistol down, and I have to push the button. And my whole life is at danger as a 50-year-old man. Every time the chair could tip over. If I was just 6 inches taller, 4 inches taller. I bet you I wouldn't have to do that.
Stool not needed.
Still not needed. Well, Sevan, why did you put your printer up there? Well, fuck you. It's none of your business. It's my printer. I'll put it wherever the fuck I want.
You needed it up and out.
At least my job doesn't take me to the fucking Middle East. At least I'm not fucking that unsafe. All I have to do is turn on the printer. Oh, hi. Sorry. I didn't know you were here. My bad.
Not very nice.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. I have to fucking stand on I just have to stand on a stool every morning. Fuck, it's humid. Is it humid in Livermore today?
No, it's actually nice.
What is going on? It is so humid. It never gets humid in California. Caleb's like, and you're not allowed to complain about the weather when I'm on either.
Is that a reading rainbow shirt?
He had to wear that to. It's
that's reading rainbow.
That's military 9/11 issued.
Yeah, right. They ran out of those shirts actually.
This guy that that's coming on the show today has done something pretty cool. He's built an Instagram account. He's built a YouTube channel and he has 1 million subscribers.
That's a lot of subscribers.
Pretty pretty superficial way to view him, but it's a solid metric. It's a great achievement. It's like do you think that that's equivalent in YouTube of making it to the Olympics?
1 million subscribers?
Yeah, is it like
yeah,
is
like
it pretty
percentage wise, like everybody who starts out making content, like who
yeah,
makes it to the
it's not
pinnacle.
you're not on the podium, but you're fucking going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
You're suiting up. It's pretty fucking cool. You could get the Olympic tattoo if you're a jackass. What? What'd you say, Caleb?
Shows up just to hang out.
Is Caleb talking?
It like froze.
Oh. Caleb, is that brown thing behind you new? What's going on? Something looks new. Did you guys upgrade your furniture?
Definitely more furniture in there. Yeah.
Which is funny because we actually got rid of a bunch of furniture.
So shit got shuffled around.
Yeah, there's some apples. That's about it.
They got a IKEA over there, I think.
Actually,
that's what shopping.
There is.
Oh no, is our guy no showing us this morning?
I really hope not. Everything was all systems a go.
Maybe we had a time.
No.
A time.
No, because earlier he had said that.
He's in Los Angeles.
He reflected back the.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Do you see Brian is saying that Tuesday needs to be a morning show? Oh shit! So Tuesday we have back-to-back shows. Wow. Mm-hmm. Hey, do you want your wedding to go smoothly? Or would you like someone to knock the cake over so you have a story? Would you like one of the parents to like shit their pants, or like your mom's like Depends to be hanging out the back of her pants, or like, you know what I mean, like your uncle to get too drunk and fucking squeeze Grace's aunt's ass? I mean, do you want? It seems so naive and rookie to want it to go smoothly.
I'd place zero expectation on that, and I always think that something like that happened always makes for a better story than like a night that goes off perfectly without a hinge.
Yeah.
But it's just funny that you mentioned that, because I feel like part of me also wants it to go smoothly so I don't have to like pick up any of the pieces. You know what I mean?
I went to a wedding one time, and the guy, it was actually Tony Budding's wedding, the former executive media director at CrossFit Inc. It was a big wedding. It was a sleepover wedding at a campground in Guerneville on a river. Yeah, it was dope. And the guy who does will you take this dude to marry this chick and only fuck her for the rest of her life? Yeah, officiation dude. He said Tony's name wrong 3 times, and it became clear that he had like Alzheimer's or something. Yeah, it became clear that something was wrong with him.
Oh my goodness.
Without a hinge? I don't know. Without a hinge, without a hiccup. This is the first time
I didn't talk.
I've been awake for 66 minutes, and I'm this is the first time I'm talking. My mouth is just warming up.
He was saying that about me. I said that Without a hinge.
We all know. Without a hiccup, without a hinge.
Yeah, well, we've already had quite a few of them because the restaurant we were originally going to
Bitch.
have a little welcome reception at called us and said they permanently closed.
Oh,
So that was cool. And then some transportation company that we had was like, oh, by the way, even though we gave you the quote and kept moving everything along like it was there, we actually don't service that area. So then that fell through. But we got
it's gonna be
both
112
fixed.
degrees, and none of our cars. Gavin Newsom said none of our cars are allowed to turn on their AC.
As he's in a jacket inside. Caleb, have you seen that at all?
What about having to shut off your electricity in California?
Yeah, but Newsom's in a jacket, like inside, while it's at the craziest heat wave in the area. It's funny how we need to watch with our AC, and he's like in a jacket. It's hilarious.
I need to see this.
Sevan, are you going to the wedding? Here's the thing.
He got an invite.
I cannot. I cannot. I can't put things on my calendar. You can't ask me that. But I do have a really nice Armani suit that I'm thinking about, like, not eating for a couple of days before the wedding so I can get into it. Like a really nice suit.
Oh my goodness.
I flew from New Zealand. I was going from New Zealand to, I should tell this whole story. It's actually pretty fucking funny. I flew from New Zealand to Hawaii, and I was going with Greg. We had an affiliate gathering in New Zealand. And when we got to, we had to fly through Australia. And it was so fucking weird because the airline we flew on didn't have some sort of partnership agreement with the country of Australia. So none of the passengers there were allowed to get off the plane, or were allowed to, in the airport, they had to stay in a certain area. They couldn't go to other parts of the area because that would mean that you were actually in the country of Australia. It was weird. I forget the actual, but our luggage went the wrong way, and they demanded that we went and got our luggage to get it back on our flight, but we couldn't go to that part of the airport because our airline didn't have a fucking deal with fucking Australia. So during all this debacle, they told us we had missed our flight, but we could still see our plane. And
like sitting there?
Yeah. And Greg told the people that him and I were cardiac surgeons racing to do a heart transplant. And he used all his fancy big words and fucking explained it to the people, and they put us on the plane. They opened the plane back up and put us on. True story. It was fucking gangster.
That's cool.
It was so gangster. And then we got to Hawaii, and they said they had no idea where our luggage was. So Greg took me to Nordstrom's and said I could get whatever I want. And like the scumbag that I am, I threw in an Armani suit. Even I swear this whole story is true.
Not just some shorts and a t-shirt.
Oh my goodness.
An Armani suit. Get whatever you like. You got it. Let's head to the suit section. What a great story.
I made 8 minutes in the show before dropping glass and things. I don't drop anything, by the way. Those of you who are like, I'm dropping my new clothing today. A new podcast dropped. Those of you who use the word dropped your tools. It's just like, shut up.
Merch
Unless
drop.
you're fucking Jay-Z, you don't use the word drop. Drop. That's cultural appropriation, Jeff. Only black guys can use that word. Drop.
Okay, send him another text.
I'm just going to sit here and wait until he comes.
I was going to ask you about the jiu-jitsu tournament.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
I'm glad. It went really well. I'll say that. I'm really, really happy how it went down.
Okay.
A shitload of good competitors. The first kid that Avi went again, I found this, someone told me this after the tournament. The first kid that Avi went again, the first kid that Avi went against. Hey, Jeff, and you should start counting how long before I say my kids' names too. Every show. The first kid Avi went against was the whatever junior Pan American champion at his age. And he armbarred Avi in 20 seconds, and then he armbarred the next kid in 10 seconds. And then that kid's day was done, like, because he's just 2 and out. And Avi cried. And then Avi went up against another kid but both these kids were a year older than Avi, but supposedly they were in the same weight class, but there weren't a lot of kids there, so they were meshed. They were smashing weight classes together.
Mm-hmm.
You see that more often in no-gi classes. No-gi's when you don't wear the shit, the gear, right? The gis that like the pants, and the silly jacket everyone wears.
Mm-hmm.
But and for those of you who don't do martial arts, that's like part of the technique, like taking the dude's clothing and fucking him up with his clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wears the same clothes, so you learn how to like take the dude's clothes and like choke him out with
lapel
it.
chokes and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird shit.
Yeah.
And so he lost both of his gi matches. Then he went into no gi and he beat the kid. There was only one kid there, and he was a year older also, but lighter. And he beat the kid in the first match like 9-2. The second match they tied 4-4, but because that kid scored last, he got the win. And then Avi wouldn't go on the third match.
He was done.
He's done.
Yeah.
He just sat there and just cried.
Oh.
And I pretended like I was a cool dad and like just smiled and I was like, I love you. Good job. I'm so proud of you. You worked hard. And then once everyone was gone and we were driving home, I'm like, you pussy. No, I didn't do that. I didn't. But we talked about what tired meant. I talked about what tired meant. I told him that at some point I said, hey, I think it was a missed opportunity. Like the other day I did a workout and it was 10 strict pull-up. After I rode the assault bike for 20 minutes and I did 220 calories, I did 10 strict pull-ups on the minute. And then on the alternating minutes, I did 110-pound squat clean. And that's it, just back and forth. And I told myself I'm going to do all the pull-ups unbroken, right? Just 10 strict. Well, in the latter rounds, when I would get to 8 or 9, I really wanted to quit, and I wasn't sure if I could get my chin over the bar. And I have to tell myself it doesn't matter if you get your chin over the bar. It matters to get the proper stimulus and the adaptation. I just have to try as hard as I can. And that's probably better for me. Not probably. That's better for me for what I'm trying to do than getting off and getting my chin over the bar.
Right.
And that's the opportunity that I feel like Avi missed. And that's a hard one because even at 50, I struggle with that just when I'm alone in my garage. I want to rest and get a full complete rep, right? But he should have just gone out there and been like, hey, I tried and I'm better today for it. Like truly better. Truly better. Not like, oh, you're better for the effort. He truly would have adapted to it. He would have learned. He would have grown mentally. Hey, I pushed through into a place that I wanted to quit, and I got stronger because I'm really working this fatigued muscle, intellectual, emotional. And then Ari, I should actually play the video. Ari's when they're that young. All the girls at that age look like they're better than the dudes. Like you see tons of chicks smashing boys and not so many boys smashing girls until like you get to 13 or 14. So Ari was the only boy in his weight division and it was fucking murder's row, dude. 5 and 6-year-old girls fucking like they hit each other. Like when they slap your head down, they hit you like this. It's crazy.
Like aggressive.
It's so aggressive.
They start standing, right? At that age too?
Yeah.
Start
standing. And every kid wants to armbar because every coach because they know that's when the referees stop the match. So all the coaches are there. And I have no coach. Well, that's not true. McKenna came. Thank God McKenna came. That's another thing. I'm so frustrated kind of with the jiu-jitsu program. I'm frustrated.
Yeah, they don't all show up and kind of rally around it or anything.
Yeah.
No? Oh, that sucks.
So one of the ladies that we do privates with, she showed up and just took control, which I was so fucking thankful for.
Oh, that's really cool for her.
Yeah.
Did she have other people there? Was she there just basically for the boys?
Just for the boys.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you want to get in good with someone, just do something nice for their kids. They'll fucking owe you forever. Like this chick doesn't have any kids. She's young. She's just a kid herself, 20. But she has no idea how much it means to me that she showed up. Anyway, Ari had his match. He got fucking armbarred. They stopped it late and his arm hyperextended. You can see it in the video. Yeah, the wrong way. So he's crying. They put ice and Haley runs in and carries him out. And I thought, okay, he's done. That's good. And then about 3 minutes pass and Haley goes, hey, you got to go talk to Ari. And I go, what's up? She's like, go talk to him. So I go there and he goes, I want to go back in. I go, what? And he goes, I want to go back in. I'm like, you don't have to. He goes, I want to. I'm like, all right. I take him back in. Fucking next match, war. Double leg, fucking knee on belly, arm bar, gets the win.
Really? He's not.
Yeah,
he
and then
wasn't
his third match was tied 0-0 at the end, and the judge gave it to the girl.
Mm.
So he ended up getting a bronze.
And he left.
And
in good
Joseph's like,
spirits.
"Fuck you, I'm not doing it." So he's all geeked up, cost me $130. He's like,
And he wasn't feeling it. All right. Well, that's how that shakes out, huh?
Second time in a row.
Oh.
Second time. Capable Child Consulting for $500. I will talk to you on the phone for 1 hour.
I thought there'd be more.
But Sevan, what do you know about parenting? He charges $500 for parent. He thinks he knows how to parent. Come meet him.
I was gonna say, just have the kids hang out.
Come meet them.
That's the resume
Come meet the boys.
and the business card all in one.
So this morning afterwards, we're going. There's this pretty. I think this kid's better than Avi at tennis, and he's a year younger. People tell me he's not, but I think he is. This kid's really fucking aggressive and cool. And his mom texted me last night and goes, "Hey, you want to get the boys together at 9 a.m. to play tennis?" I said, "Fuck yeah!"
Awesome.
So after the show, I'm going over to the high school and watch Avi fucking war with this fucking 6-year-old. Actually, I think he's 7 now. Maybe he's not a year younger, but. Can I pay you $500 to tell me more Greg Glassman stories? Yes. No, for $50,000, I'll start telling you some good ones. Excuse me.
I think Caleb just grabbed like a weapon to attack some bug we can't see. Look at him.
Oh,
Look at that. He's armed now. What's happening?
Wait, you're allowed to use those in there?
It's assault gun.
Hey, so when I was in Newport, one of Sarah Cox's business associates. Yes, thank you. When I was how often does he mention Newport? When I was in Newport at the beach house, this fucking dude, I go, "What's that?" He goes, "Assault gun." I'm like, "Oh, I've always wanted one of those." He shot me at point blank range, 6 inches away, twice in a row, behind my knee, in that soft fleshy spot. And I yelped. And Avi ran, and it stung for a long time. Like salt actually penetrated the skin. And Avi ran over to the dude and goes, "Give me that. Give me that." And this guy's a brown belt. Paulie's a brown belt at AOJ. And he's all, "Why?" And Avi's like, "Because you shot my dad and I'm going to shoot you." I'm like, "Yeah, boy."
Oh, damn.
We do that to each other all the time. We just shoot each other with assault gun.
Hey, if that got in your eye, that could fuck your eyeball up.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to close our eyes. iPro.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Caleb's just like concerned HR is going to get him now.
Yeah, they don't do shit. They just shoot each other in the face.
Hey, so that salt's just everywhere then? Like you shoot it and it's just on the ground then?
Yeah,
like I can't have one of those in my house, right?
Yeah, I would probably not an indoor thing, but
unless you work in the military and you don't give a fuck.
We don't give 2 fucks.
Yeah. Hey, so like if you were eating hard-boiled eggs in that room and you want a little salt, you could just like take the egg and just dab it on the floor.
Yep. Yeah. If everybody wants salt, we just shoot it up in the ceiling and then it sprinkles.
Everyone gets it. Salt for everyone.
Yep. Exactly.
Dude, I stayed up late preparing for this dude.
I know. And he really double checked with me, and I was like, "Yeah, we're all good." And
I got on the assault bike late last night. Late.
Can't trust the Navy.
And he's a Navy guy. I got on the assault bike late last night, and I got on at 10:19, and I stayed up for another hour and 15 minutes finishing the research on the guy. And I was actually thinking, I was like patting myself on the back the whole time, like, "Fuck, you're such a stud." I did have this thought this morning I wanted to share with you guys. This one means a lot to me. I actually went over like an asshole and woke my wife up and shared this one with her. Sundays are my fasting day. I stopped eating Saturday night, as you guys know, and I don't eat again until Monday morning. I just drink black coffee. I woke up this morning. This is after doing it for 2 years, and I had this huge sense of relief that I did not have to eat today. And I'd never had that before.
Interesting.
And that's the evolution of fasting. When it starts, people are scared. You're like, "Oh." I apologize. I don't wish you like a happy 9/11 day or anything, right, Caleb? It's not like a military day. It's
That's
like
right. That's
We don't,
right.
we don't celebrate that.
okay. I don't know what the appropriate term is.
There's a flyover for it.
When people start fasting, they're scared. Across the board, they'll always be like, "Well, I think I'm gonna try 12 hours." I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna stop eating at 8 o'clock at night and go to sleep? And not eat again until 8? You jackass." But
Go to sleep.
Yeah. But I understand 24. You get a little nervous, and what's crazy is that people do 24-hour fast and then they start eating at 9 at night. I'm like, dude, just go to sleep, and you can just crest over into the 36-hour point.
What was your first fast? How long was your first one? Like when you first started to dabble? Did you go first 24? Or did you just do?
You know what's crazy? I think the first time I ever fasted in my life, I did a 10-day fast in college, and but we drank. I boiled, I simmered like onions and bananas, and I simmered all this shit in a bowl that I was supposed to, in a giant pot, and then you strain out all the particulate. And I think I just drank that shit for 10 days. Wow. That was the first time I ever fasted. And then I would never I never have considered 12 or 18 hours a fast. Never, ever, ever in my life.
It's not even really a fast at that point either.
Yeah.
Like
I consider if you don't sleep twice, if you can't go a day, a whole waking cycle without eating, then you didn't fast. It seems just like, hey, you just didn't eat. It just seems like
you skipped a couple meals.
But today, after 2 years, I was like, and I told my wife, I go, oh my God. She goes, what? I go, I'm fucking relieved I don't have to eat today. I've become so thankful for Sundays. Gratitude.
Oh, it's turned into like a religious practice for you.
I guess, yeah.
Powerful. It's your holy day.
It is my holy day. I
really
don't.
Is, yeah.
I'm free. I'm free from having to eat today. It's like, oh, thank you. I've set myself free.
I've been thinking about trying it. I just don't know if I could.
You're too young.
Go that long. It's funny because all the guys, especially the firefighters I talk to, they're like, "Oh, I do intermittent fasting," and I'm like, "Do you really,
No.
or do you just skip breakfast?" And then anytime you tell them to flip it, you go, "Okay, great, yeah." So intermittent fasting. Why don't you try it by skipping dinner and then not eating until noon the next day? So stop eating at like 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. and then don't eat until noon the next day. And they're like, oh, no. So you're like, yeah, you're not intermittent fasting. You're just skipping breakfast.
You can't consider not eating, but like on shift as like intermittent fasting because it's like, oh, I missed a meal on shift.
Right.
It's not intermittent fasting.
Dude, some people can't go a day without eating bread. I think the vast majority of Americans. Dude, when the power went last year, not last year, but a couple of years ago, the power went out here for days at a time in California, where I'm at, and people were freaking out, like people close to me. I'm like, dude, relax. Power's out. It's okay. Starbucks is like, we can go to Starbucks in the next town over and survive.
You'll be all right. It's a few hours.
Like, fuck. But it is weird when the power goes out for days. But not like, but people get scared.
It's like when the Wi-Fi goes down, everybody panics.
Well, that's scary, Caleb. Come on.
They don't know what you know why? Because they don't know what they're going to do with themselves.
Yeah, they can't they don't know how to entertain themselves for like the 2 hours that it goes down. They're just like, I can't use my phone. I have to talk to people, like freak out.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, Sousa. I apologize. Sousa, I want you to still your brain, and I'm going to fire a question to you, and I want you to answer it. You ready?
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Sousa lives in Livermore, California. If you add water to any plant there, it will fucking flourish. That's all. I mean, he lives in like a spot where anything will fucking grow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Do you know where when you think of the closest tree that gives food to you, not right now, but just at any time during the year, can you immediately think of a tree? Like, oh yeah, that neighbor has an avocado tree. Oh yeah, I know my parents have an orange tree. Like, do you know of a tree?
No.
You don't know of a plum tree every year? You don't know? You don't? That means maybe
No.
you don't walk enough.
No, I walk a lot, and you know what?
Yeah, I
There's
always
really
you
not.
do walk a lot and you
Yeah,
run too, right?
yeah,
There's
yeah,
no,
yeah.
wow.
And
You
there's
don't know
really
where like the biggest persimmon tree in your neighborhood is?
no, which
I
is
know
funny
all
because
that
like
shit.
even we're like, especially as I run or like if Grace and I walk or something, we're like looking around quite a bit, and I don't. Yeah, that's funny. There's not a tree that gives off a fruit that I can
Caleb,
think of nearby.
I want you to clear your mind, and I want you to answer me a question. Oh, there's someone there.
Hey, I gotta go.
Play it cool.
Okay.
Play it cool.
Okay, can anyone hear me, Caleb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, bye.
Sorry. Bye.
I was gonna ask Caleb, where is the safest place to masturbate on base? Which spot does everyone know that is the safest place?
It's probably
to
those
masturbate?
rooms that he's normally in when he's in the back end of the show. Have you seen that joke about Livermore? That like
No, what
started
is?
to go that started to become popular. I can't remember if it's old and then just
Dude, there's no
recently
joke about
resurfaced.
Livermore. No one's even heard of Livermore. Shut the fuck up.
Well, that's the funniest part
Livermore
about
joke.
it. So this
Oh,
comedian he goes, every time I ask where you people are from, everybody's vague. You say, hey, where are you from? You go, oh, Northern California. And he's like, oh, well, that narrows it down. Where in Northern California? And he goes, and then you'll answer the Bay Area. He goes, oh, good. And you've narrowed it down again. He goes, but really the whole entire time they're saying that is because they just want to avoid saying where they really live. Because when you go, wait, where in the Bay Area? They go, a place called Livermore. So it's pretty funny.
Livermore's kind of a trip. For those of you who don't know, when you travel in between, so this might help. When you travel in between Southern California and Northern California, there's a freeway that a lot of people take. It's our big corridor through the state, but it's kind of the corridor you have to go out to it. It's in the middle of the state. It's called Highway 5. And it's way out in the middle. But if you want to travel long distances in the state, you go out to this freeway, and you can drive pretty fast on it. Like people do 100 on it. It's like it's nothing. And so there's the Pacific Ocean, and then there's this group of cities on the Pacific Ocean, and it's called the Bay Area, and they all surround where the water comes in the bay. And those are all and they all surround the bay, and those are like San Francisco, Oakland, Benicia, Vallejo, Albany, El Cerrito, Richmond. There's just all these cities, and then they go down on the bottom, Redwood City, Silicon Valley's down around the bottom there, San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start heading inland to go to the 5, like the last kind of cool city before you get out into the sticks to get on the 5 is Livermore.
Yeah.
And you're kind of not sure if it's cool. Like you're kind of not sure if you call it the Bay Area, but it's not Stockton. It's not ghetto, but it is kind of far out there. But
yeah.
It exploded. 40 years ago, it was like the only place you could live and afford to buy shit in the Bay Area. So people would go out there and buy shit and then commute. And now it's crazy, right? I mean, you have like the traffic there now is fucking insane.
You see, we got a text.
Yeah, he said fuck. No, too late. He can't come on now. Too late.
To give you an idea too of the
let's reschedule because I need you for the full 90 minutes because you are so damn interesting and cool. Please. You're injured because I need you for the full 90 minutes. Come on now. I'm off to the races on some other shit.
Yeah. To give people an idea of how much Livermore has grown too, I think my parents bought the house that they still live in now in '96 for like $245,000 or something, and now the house is worth 1.3.
Wow.
It's insane out here.
And it's not because they built a second floor.
No. It just like as the development continued, the houses became more and more on top of each other. Like some of these new developments, you could like reach out, and if you reach out your window and I reach out mine, we could like high five each other between houses. So my parents' house still sits on a big lot. Like they have a side yard, they have a big backyard. You could walk to the like community center from there. You could walk down to the elementary school. It's super close to the middle schools and high schools, into the freeway and all the major shopping, but it's far enough away to where you're not like in the hustle and bustle.
You don't know where there's an orange tree in that
Oh wait, nope, you're right. I lied. There's a lemon tree in
There we
my
go.
next to my neighbor's
Lowest tree on the totem
parents'
pole.
neighbor.
Lowest
Yeah.
tree on the totem pole.
There used to be pomegranate trees all over now that I'm thinking about it. And you could like grab them, and we were little asshole kids. So we'd like throw them and they would dial our clothes and like shit around us.
It's better
yeah,
than what
those are
most
good.
people do. Most people don't like, you can drive around Santa Cruz and just at this time of year for the last 3 months and just look around and be like, hey, there's a tree. Like there's a tree with 1,000 plums just smashed on the ground. No one harvested it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like a mile away, there's an encampment with 600 homeless people. We voted for Prop 207 to tax you to raise money to feed the homeless people and put them in your neighborhood. We're going to give them a free needle giveaway. I'm so excited about this program. Meanwhile, there's just trees just everywhere. You just like you can't go a couple blocks in Santa Cruz without finding a tree that's just dumped its shit on the ground somewhere and that no one's harvested. Hey, I used to do that when I worked at CrossFit and I was super rich. I never harvested my fruit in my yard. I just let that shit drop.
Mm.
No, I will not touch you avocados from a tree, you vile creatures. I will go to the store and buy them.
I'm gonna go
for
to Whole
$5
Foods.
each. You peasants.
Which is funny now because like that yard is awesome. Like
Oh,
as you
it's
walk
so
around and give the
awesome.
tour and you like pull something off the tree and kind of brush it off and hand it over and get to eat it and continue the tour.
It's so awesome. When I went to Newport, I took like 60 apples. It was great.
Yeah. The venue that we're at, there's like an apple tree and some other stuff. And so while we were like doing
for your wedding,
tour, yeah, we were doing a little.
Your wedding has a venue.
Yeah.
Venue,
yeah, 2 venues.
Oh, you're scaring me. Oh fuck, you're scaring me.
You're scared.
SLO is the best city in all of California. I feel you.
Off.
I don't
You're
agree with you at all,
off.
but I feel you. It's not like I'm like, hey, that's a stupid pick. I feel you. I feel you.
It's not like he was like Lodi is the best city at all.
You know, he went to college there and lost his virginity, and so he's just like, it's just like he loves it.
It was a different time. Hey, you know what's funny? That Austin dude, like, as soon as that text came through, and it was like clearly like established that there is just, you know, it was on him a little bit more. I got so much relieved.
Oh, because it like, oh shit, did we?
I just never. I mean, I just know, like, and I mean, the audience, especially the regular listeners, know how much and like how serious we take it. Like, it's nonchalant when we're on here, and you're like, oh, okay, the guest didn't show up, and to throw in the live call-in number, and it doesn't happen often. It does not happen often, especially now. But every time it does, I'm like, oh, like, and I just feel the weight of the responsibility. You know, like even if it has nothing to do with it, it's still just like, right. It's got to go off. Like we put so much into it. Got to respect your time for the research, respect our audience's time for showing up on here and participating the way they do in the comments. And so it always just eats me up.
How many shows have we done?
587 or 89. And
so with game shows, we're for sure up over 600, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever missed a show. I've in a couple times like
583. Yeah. So yep.
I don't know what I had, but a couple times I was so sick, like I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like as I'm walking in here, I'm like, I might shit my pants or throw up or something. And then it goes away once the camera goes on, it goes away. It comes back as soon as the camera goes off. But the other day I wanted to leave Newport at 6 a.m. and my alarm didn't go off and I didn't get up till 6:17 a.m. And that never has happened when I've done a show. And I do a lot, you know, we do a lot of 6, 7 a.m. shows. And holy shit, dude. It turned on I guess it's obsessive compulsive disorder, but my OCD, like just one fuck up like that in my life and I'm damaged. I'm damaged.
Triple check.
I haven't really been able to sleep great because I'm just on edge now. I cannot miss a show.
Dude, that happened to me years back at a 5:30 a.m. class at the gym. And
you didn't show up. You didn't show up.
Yeah, there was a switch of a schedule and everything else, and so I had, you know, it was just an off by a date. So one of the coaches that normally was there at 5:30 a.m., I thought it was the next day I was supposed to be there, and she thought it was this date. It was totally my fault. And something happened, and I woke up at like 5:40 or about 10 minutes after I was supposed to be there, and I saw a text from one of the members that was there. It was like, "Hey, there's nobody here," and I did like panic spring out of bed and like threw the first pants on that were closest in the closet and drove over there. And it took like 2 years for me to.
What time did you finally get there?
Probably about 15 minutes after the class started, because I live close to the gym, so it was only about 5 minutes away. Or
yeah, how do you and you know it's like almost like what can you do to apologize to those people? Those people want to work out and then they want to go to work, and like you had one fuck up, but it's still like you can't apologize.
No, and
you cannot. You took that from them.
And I got lucky because one of the members that had been there for a long time was like, "Hey, there's no point to just stand around here. Like, let's go ahead and start the warm up and like just let everybody on a 400-meter run." And I came back, like as I pulled in the parking lot, they're like stretching out there, and like one person was leading it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I like rolled in. I was like, "Okay, what have you guys done so
far?" I hope
far?"
you gave that dude a handy.
Oh yeah, it was actually a chick, but
fine, give her a handy. I'm whatever.
So yeah, it was cool. And
I just sent you an email. Yeah, that would fuck me up too.
But that's the thing. If you make like enough deposits into people's bank accounts and you're, you have all that, you get a lot of leeway in terms of mistakes. If you make a withdrawal from the relationship.
Oh yeah, I like that. That is a good. It is a withdrawal from the relationship, right?
Yeah, but if you make
how do you make it up to them?
Okay. Never do it again.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't. Like you said, like the whole drive there, you're like, what are you gonna do? I can't roll the clock back 15 minutes.
Do you think this guy knows? You this is just bear with me here, Sousa. All your classes are live.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. We're live. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, you're right. Never thought.
There's no. My mom died. I found out fucking Grace is cheating on me. There's no fucking. My best friend has cancer. There's no like. 3, 2. Hello. Hi. I'm here. Welcome. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. I love you guys. Fuck yeah. Don't mention your dog. Don't think about your dog dying yesterday. Don't think about your dog dying. Don't think about how your wife ran your dog over on accident yesterday. Don't think about it. Okay, everyone, get your bars. I'm so excited about fucking today. Thank you so much for being here. God, you guys look strong. And it's just, you're off, right?
Yeah.
You have to be so fucking present. Does this guy know that we go live? Like, what's his name? Austin Alexander, YouTube superstar, 1 million subscribers. Do you think he knows we go live and like that if I wasn't the greatest podcaster in the world, that would fuck us? If I didn't have Matt Sousa in my corner, that would fuck us. Like, do you think those people know? Like, is he tripping right now? Oh my God, what's Sevan doing? I'm so. What did I do to the show? Oh,
I think he does a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if it was like all that thought was going in, or knows that it's like live and you're still just like beasting it out.
How about Danielle Brandon? Does she know?
How
about Daniel Rodriguez? Did you see the fights?
Yeah.
How the fuck did Daniel Rodriguez get that win? Leach definitely won that fight.
Hey, well, how did you compare up against Adrian? I wrote down your guys' stuff, your picks.
He chose Tony Ferguson, so I won that one.
Oh, Diaz won, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, it was the weirdest fight. It was just like when his brother fought. No, it was even weirder than that. Have you ever like witnessed like gang fight at your high school, or like just a gang fight somewhere and just two dudes, how they kind of just take turns hitting each other, and like you can take breaks and they talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. They weren't even like, there was some, it was like a mixture of like just two dudes who respect each other and just wanted to feel each other's shit. It was kind of like, you and a friend would skip rocks to see who could skip more, but like, let's just take turns hitting, but you're fighters, so you just take turns hitting each other. Like, it was so weird. It was so weird, dude. It was, they're two of the weirdest dudes.
Reminds me of like the old school military where they would just line up in front of each other and take it.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like just, hey, or like that game. Did you ever play butt ball as a kid? And then like someone has to go up there and bend over, and then you all throw the ball at them, like it's like handball or something. I
don't think we called it butt ball, but yeah, I can't remember what we called it.
And then you had to just bean the dude if you lost a point.
Yes. And then the second fight, third round ground and pound.
Who Holland and
Holland and yeah.
Kamzat. Kamzat won. He's so easy.
Really? Third round?
No, first round, I think.
Oh, ground and pound? How did he win?
No. Submission.
Wow. Okay.
He didn't even get hit once. It's like his 7th fight where his opponent couldn't hit him. I mean, the stats are, there's no one like him. There's the stats. He ran. So you know when the two fighters come out and you're supposed to bump their fist?
Yeah.
The guy, Kevin Hall, went to bump his fist and Hamzat took him down. And just mashed him.
That's kind of poor sportsmanship.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne texts me. He's like, "What a bitch." I'm like, "Yeah, I agree."
Yeah, like the bell rings, so like technically you're supposed to be able to defend yourself and like stay in the fight, but come
on. What do you think about Max from Training Think Tank saying the unknowable metric should be taken out of the game? No, it's fucking. I'd have to hear it, but that sounds stupid.
I watched a little bit of Hiller's video. I kind of binged on some of his videos. Did you see the one that he made about that old video camera and his mom and the wrestling and stuff?
How new? No. But I did watch like 3 or 4 of his videos recently.
I really liked that video. I thought it was good.
He, I guess him and Dave have been bickering. I guess basically people in Dave's comments are egging Dave on. I guess Dave Castro did a show where he answers questions from his comments. So people,
yeah,
which to me is just, dear Dave.
Is it lazy content?
What? Yes, you lazy chicken shit piece of shit. Ask me anything. I'm so cool. Ask me anything. Hey, whenever any of those athletes do that, I just think you're a fucking. But people like it. Eat that shit up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go to like someone's account, like, and it's just like, and it's just question. Danielle Brandon does it. Matt Fraser does. I've seen it's just like people just fire. What kind of toothpaste do you use? When I'm like, when's the last time someone snapped your bra? Like, that's what I want to know.
Wait, is Danielle still doing? Can I ask that?
No, I don't know. I'm just.
Oh my goodness! Because there was one of them that got put up there. Oh, the first thing is,
what a cool thing to do! Snap someone's bra. Do you remember like? Do you remember like even when one of your boyfriends, like, he'd have a rubber band and you'd grab it and now it's stretched out and someone has to let go, and if he lets go, you get his rubber band. If you let go, he's fucked up, and it's like this fucked up situation.
Yeah.
That's what it's kind of like being a girl. You just wear a rubber band around your chest, just asking people to fucking do you.
Do you ever see the thing where you can wind up a rubber band like on itself, so it's really wound up, and then you could like let it go in someone's hair and it wraps up their hair?
Yes, that's a great one. Or in their arm hair. Yeah. You can just do it. So yes, that's a great one. Oh yeah, that shit's brutal.
Oh my goodness.
Heidi, when's the last time someone snapped your bra? That's what I want to know.
But if to ask me anything. It's funny that you mentioned that about the live classes, because I didn't really think about it until you had said it right there. I coached a class after like finding out that my dog died on my birthday. Remember I told that story. And then I also coached the class immediately.
How did your dog die?
It was just old. It was a beagle, and it was like 15 or 16. And
that's different than like your girlfriend. That was different though than your. Not to say it doesn't still sting, but that's different than like your girlfriend left it in your car and killed it because it overheated. That's like that's like you're fucked up a little. You got some shit to process.
There's something that comes with the circle of life to it.
But someone has snapped your bra. Do you remember taking off a bra in the early days? Do you remember being like 16 years old and taking off a girl's bra and your brain's just like exploding?
Yeah.
Like, I just take the bra off and just run away out into a field. I don't even touch the boobs or look at them. I just can't even believe I took off someone's bra. I just, bye. Okay, sorry. So back to your dog dying. Your story's so much cooler than me taking off bras. Go on.
No, but that was one of them. And then the second one was immediately finding out after Grace's dad had passed away. I coached a class right after.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess there is this Taoist saying, stop thinking your problems will end. And so there is that component of like, if you give of yourself fully, all your own shit goes away. But man, when Grace's dad dies, we probably shouldn't talk about this publicly. but it's more you're worried about her than her dad, right?
100%. Yeah.
Like if someone in my family dies, I throw a pity party for myself. If someone in Haley's family dies, I'm like worried about my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still sad that they died, but I'm kind of like, you're like, fuck, like I should be with Grace right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instead, I'm in here telling some guy he's doing good
Yeah.
good job with your squats, and they actually really suck.
Yeah. Keep your fucking knees out, Chase.
This guy, Austin Alexander, you guys have probably seen some of his videos. He does these videos where he goes out into a parking lot and he pays people $5 for every time they bench 135 or something like that. And he just randomly picks people, and it's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. I actually like it. But that being said, the range of motion that you see in all of the, like, we are gods. You have to know that as a CrossFitter, we're gods. Our push-ups, no one, we go all the way down on our pull-ups. We get our chin over the bar. We go all the way down on our push-ups. We squat below parallel. We stand up all the way. The worst of you are gods compared to just the general public. It is a joke watching the general public work out. I mean, I'm still glad they do it, and I know moving's important, but have you seen these people who like are doing like quarter squats, like with fucking 225 on their back, and like what? I can the whole time I'm like, God, if you've done that for years, all you're doing is reducing your range of motion. And I would way rather have fantastic range of motion than be strong like bull. Way rather.
Yeah. People don't realize too that how much of a people's, like, for lack of better words, of the restriction on the range of motion, or like the decrepitude that is starting to settle in on some of the older members of the gym, and they're like, I can't get there in my squat. When they start, they're getting their hips back and they're trying, but they're getting to like the same depth as like a push press, right? And then that same individual sticks with it. Like 6 months later, they're at parallel, and then a year after that, they have a full range of motion squat,
and they can't even remember not.
Exactly. And it's so important, because unless they take their hips through that range of motion and stuff like that, it's never going to come back. It's never going to just magically, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's so true with that range of motion.
I can't remember where my friend went, but he went somewhere and he couldn't, there were elephant rides, and he couldn't ride the elephant.
Couldn't get his leg up over.
Couldn't get his legs wide because the elephant's back is so wide. He didn't have the flexibility to ride the elephant.
Oh shit.
That would never fucking happen to me. Here comes the clip. I can ride anything, no matter how big it is.
Talent.
Yeah.
I tried to find some of those shorts you were talking about, but I think they're only on his YouTube channel.
What? Yeah, I saw him. Yeah. So, dude, I think he might be like a TikTok superstar. I never went to his TikTok account, but he runs his YouTube page exactly the same way that the prisoner guy, what was his name?
Jesse
Cromson runs his. And now that's how I run my parenting, capable child consulting YouTube page. I just make short videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I can find almost any hole. I just not into the Cheerio. We've already established the Cheerio. I'm not a Cheerio guy. What a stupid cereal. Cheerios. Did you eat those?
Cheerios?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're heart healthy, remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're start your day off with heart healthy Cheerios.
I didn't like the texture. I didn't like the taste.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge Cheerio person either. I really eat them.
Did you see the videos I sent you, the notes?
Mm-hmm. The live call-in ones?
Yeah, there's one another executive gone. Right below that, there's one that says, send this your daughter, and it's just a fucked up massive typo somewhere. But can you play that Instagram clip? You guys, when I see this, the whole time I just think, and I do this a lot in my life, I just think, oh, what if that was my daughter in the car? I don't have any daughters, but I just think, what if that was my daughter in the car? Now, check this out, please. This is Ed Manifesto's Instagram page. This guy was on the show. I should probably have him on again. So,
yeah, I definitely should.
Okay. Here we go. It's a random guy checking her car door to get in. She's at a light. You think that's okay?
One more time.
Should I move? Gotta get out of the way. Gotta get out of the way. You gotta move. I gotta go to work.
Look at the people just driving by. No one.
Yeah, no one's
Oh, I
stopping.
see. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry about
Thumbs up.
it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You think that's okay for someone to do that to your daughter?
Okay.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
You find that gas pedal and you put that dude under your tires.
Yeah. So, so he tries her car door, and then he stands in front of her car. At what point does he? What if you guys? I know some of you are gonna be like, no, he's just mentally ill or whatever. But what if she feels threatened?
You could hear her voice. She was.
What if she pulls something out of? What if he reaches into his pocket? When does your daughter's life become? Yeah, I don't know if you. I don't know if you run him over. If it's what if it's your pregnant wife in the car? What if it's your wife, your pregnant wife with your mom and your 3 daughters in the car? I mean, that's not even like a 1 in a million odd. Someone probably drove by with their mom and some kids in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I had this talk again the other day with someone who was at my house last night during the fights. They were talking about being, and this person's pretty hardcore liberal, and they were talking, I wish I could remember the exact example they gave, but they were talking about being threatened and taking care of yourself. And at which point I said, oh, this was the story. You're going to love this, Souza. There's a fighter, guys. His name's Cain Velasquez. And allegedly someone molested his daughter, and he went to this dude's house and chased this dude in a car chase and shot at the dude, missed the dude, and hit the dude's dad who was in the car. No one died. Now Cain's in jail for 10 years, right? And it's tough because if this guy really did molest his daughter, you want to be like, hey, man, fucking the gloves are off. Anything's possible at that point. That being said, you can't approve of vigilante shit. And this person who was at my house yesterday, who's a pretty hardcore liberal, they said to me this, which I totally fucking agree with. They said, hey, man, what Cain did was fucked up. And I said, why? And they said, what if a stray, it was on the streets of the Bay Area somewhere in between mine and Matt's house. And it was a car chase, and he shot at the guy, I think. And even if he didn't, that doesn't matter, even if the details of the story aren't right. The point is this: what if one of those stray bullets would have fucking hit like some kid on the sidewalk on his big wheel?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck you can't do that.
Yeah.
That being said, that's why if you fucking tussle with the fucking cop, you should have a fucking cap put in your ass, because a cop has a fucking gun on him. And the second I see you fucking attack a cop, I want to come over and fucking curb stomp your head.
Yeah. Well,
why is that? Because what if you get the cop's gun and shoot the cop and miss and fucking hit Avi, the greatest kid who ever walked planet Earth? Then what?
And there's stories like that too. It's super sad.
Yes, you should not. So it's kind of interesting, right? Yeah, what Cain did was fucked up. What if he accidentally shot? Even if you think you're doing the right thing, you can't do that for so many reasons. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this footage of this boy. He was 15 years old, and he's running from the fucking cops, and he has a gun, and the cops are chasing him, and they shoot him in the back and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, I find out as I looked into the story more that he was in the yard of a preschool.
Oh shit!
And his only way out was through the preschool, and he had a gun.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. If I'm one of those parents at that preschool, I'm like,
well, you're making some tough choices there as a cop.
Yeah,
because,
I gotta bake a cake for that cop. Like, I can't have random 15-year-old boy running from police run through preschool with gun.
And you have to think, if you're already bold enough to be out there with a gun, to have the police somehow involved in that incident, and now you're running away with that gun, the scenarios that are running through their mind as you're headed to the elementary school are not good. They're going worst case scenario, right? Like, he's going to take a hostage. He's going to take a few people out as he goes with them. You don't know what that person's capable of. And then at the same time, that responsibility of, well, why'd you let him run in there with a gun is going to come back to you. So those are some tough fucking calls. I mean, imagine being like, okay, do I shoot this dude in the back, or do we assume he's going to run into the preschool and not shoot and not harm any kids there? And you have less than a second to make that decision, 2 seconds to make that decision while you're out of breath, while you're running. Again, this is why cops, our law enforcement brothers and sisters, need to work the fuck out.
Yes.
Just cops that are fat. I'm sorry, dude. Like I got mad love for all my first responders, but when I see them and they're extremely overweight, and you could tell they have not ran a 400 meters in years, 5 years, 10 years, you're a liability. Not only are you a liability to those you're supposed to be protecting and serving, you're a liability to your immediate team, your colleagues, and you're a liability to yourself and your own family. It's crazy. That's negligent. That's negligent on your job. What if I was
And you're taxing society.
Yeah, what if I was coaching but wasn't coaching at all, was just kind of sitting there, had my back turned, hung out in the front most of the time, was on my phone? You wouldn't be paid for your job. They'd be like, hey, you're negligent in your job. You're not supposed to do your part. You're not doing what you're supposed to keep us safe and to keep us moving towards our goals. And if you're a law enforcement officer or a first responder and you're morbidly obese and you have, there's no physicality to you, you can't run, you can't jump over stuff, you can't protect stuff. Well, what point is it negligent to your job and are you let go?
What percentage, what is landfill full? I wonder, is there a breakdown of what fills landfill?
Plastics, I bet, because they take the longest to decompose, so they probably sit there the longest.
Landfill demographic. Landfill.
Did you mean San Francisco?
What makes up a landfill? I suck at using Google.
Commercial, it's a household waste. Like it's
what are the four types?
Organic waste, example, food, paper, cardboard, or wood.
So that's I noticed it. I thought of this when I went to Disneyland. If I drink 1 Coke a day and you're obese and you drink 6, you make 6 times the pollution I make. If I go to the hospital once every 30 years, but you go to the hospital every 6 months, you use 60 times the resources in 30 years, medical resources that I use. I always just think of that too when I hear people discussing that stuff. I'm like, you're like a mass consumer. You're a mass consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Snitches feed landfills. I don't mean to be cavalier about just shooting people either. I know the decisions are tough. When I talk about this with my dad, he straightens me out. Like I said to my dad, hey man, when those people on January 6th fucking stormed the Capitol building, I think they should have just opened fire on them. My dad's, I guess you could say, he's a liberal. He's like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, nah, there's some places that are just sacred. Like we should protect our servants, our civil servants with, by any means necessary. And he's like, nah. And we talked about it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you can't just start just shooting people down. But it just seems unacceptable to walk to. I mean, imagine if just one person walked in there with like a backpack, they would get fucking jumped by 10 cops and dragged out.
Mm-hmm. Do you know who Andrew Tate is? Have you heard of that guy?
Oh yeah. He's the guy. I've seen a couple of his videos. He got kicked off of YouTube or TikTok because he was talking about women in a way that like someone thought was sexist or something.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
He has some interesting one-liners things.
When I was in the 8th grade, I was in Model UN. It was for the smart kids. I do not know how I got into that. And I was a horrible student at school. And so all the schools from the area came in, right? So there was like, 500 kids from like 50 schools. And we were representing some country, I forget, some Middle Eastern country like Saudi Arabia. That's who we were supposed to be. And when I went up and spoke, like our thing is that I gave this whole talk about how women are equivalent to cattle and how they should only be used for breeding and they shouldn't be allowed to vote and they should be kept covered up and all this shit. I was going crazy up there and I fucking got in trouble for that. But it was all shit that I had read, and we didn't have internet then. But it was all shit that I read in an encyclopedia. You know what I mean? The beliefs of this country, and I got in fucking trouble.
Well, it was interesting. The reason why I bring it up is because he made a comment on a podcast or something I was watching, and he was saying that some part of the problem with the Western world and the U.S. is like nothing's held.
What are pull-ups are the problem?
No. Part of the problem in the U.S. or the Western world is nothing is held sacred. He goes, they were in I think it was a Nelk Boys podcast, but they were in Romania or someplace.
Oh, yeah. That's where I saw him. They're sitting on a patio.
Yeah, and
I watched like 15 minutes of that. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
He does. It'd be interesting. But he goes, nothing's held sacred anymore. And he goes, especially in the Western world, he goes, you're here, which is a predominantly Christian country, and you could write on there like God is gay or something like that. That would kind of go against some of the religious beliefs. And he goes, and you're going to walk out of here fine. He goes, but if you do the same thing and you put Prophet Muhammad is, and you go to a Middle Eastern country, he goes, good luck getting out of there alive. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting. But what you were almost saying is like that building should have been held sacred a little bit. Not that they should have just opened fire on people coming in there, but there is no fear of that. But if you go to some other countries and you wear a Prophet Muhammad shirt and say something negative about it, that's held sacred there. And the chances of you being hurt or killed are high.
During the BLM riots, they took over a police station in Seattle and a police station in Ferguson. The one in Ferguson, they lit the police station on fire while there were police officers inside, and they had to be helicoptered off the roof, if I remember the report correctly.
Holy shit.
That's like Billy the Kid shit. That's like 1807 shit. I don't think that that's acceptable. If I see you lighting a building on fire with people inside, I'm okay with someone opening fire on you. I don't think our police station should be allowed to be taken over.
Yeah.
They shut down a city block for like a month in Seattle. I mean, people live there.
Yeah, but
I don't think that that's okay. I think there is a by any means necessary moment.
Well, that's what I say. So the point being about that Andrew Tate thing is like, do you think that we should hold stuff in that regard? Like, should we hold something that sacred to where it's like, you're going to die if you go over there, they'll just shoot you, you know?
When you think about what money is, stealing is a really, really gnarly crime. Stealing, you're basically taking time from people.
Mm-hmm.
Our most valuable. I mean, it is what we use to trade for each other's time is currency. And it's the most valuable thing we have. It's the
only thing we have.
Yeah.
For exchange, really.
Will you play 330? I think that this is a little misleading, but in essence, this is my experience with the world too. And this is why the liberals are so dangerous. And it was like that amongst all my liberal friends when I only had liberal friends. There is a closed-minded to them. And I'm not saying that there's not closed-minded to people on both sides. I don't even know what side I'm on anymore, but this is so fucking typical. This guy was on the show, I don't know, 300 shows ago, by the way, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a pretty cool clip here he's got.
Is when you take a black Democrat and place him around those white MAGA extremists.
I wanted to take you over here with me to the Trump supporter side, and so you can experience what's over here on the Trump supporter side, and maybe you can show me if there is racism over here that I should be concerned about. He wants to know if he's going to be safe inside there if he goes.
Yeah, come on in. You go with us. That's her.
We're all one people, right? They all think that you're crazy asking him if you're going to be safe here. They're like, what? Is he going to be safe if he goes in there?
Him?
Yeah.
Why not, man?
Okay.
Why not?
Guess what? I grab your hand, take you, your wife, your kids, and your granddad, everybody here.
They don't black, white on me.
Now, what happens when the Democrat takes the Trump supporter over to the Democrat side?
We are going to do the opposite. He went to the Trump rally with me, and now I'm going to go over with the demonstrators with him and see if I get treated with love and tolerance. Let's go see. It's very hard to have a conversation out here with him.
Wherever the fuck I want. No fucking Nazi bitch.
Wow.
I swear it's like that in the Bay Area. It's crazy.
Yeah, that
Barry
is.
did not win his fight. I think he won the fight. I think he won the fight. Yeah, I've seen it too. I grew up with it. I was it.
Yeah.
I was it.
Isn't that weird? How do people not realize that?
Yeah, I was it. We should have CrossFit health insurance, but you have to attend a certain number of CrossFit classes per year to qualify. Daniel, I went to Africa and I met with a guy who owns. God, this guy was so rich. He owned a skyscraper. I went into his skyscraper, like a real skyscraper.
That's crazy.
Like a real one, like a big motherfucker, like 70 stories, like massive, whatever. Like probably one of the biggest buildings in South Africa, 50 stories. And it was crazy too, because the center of it had this huge atrium. It was nuts. Anyway, he's an insurance megastar. And I think he probably is like the second or third largest insurance company in Africa on the entire continent. And we went over there, a bunch of us from CrossFit went over there and met with him. And what he had done was he had scraped our open records of all the people. Have you heard this story, Sousa?
No.
He'd scraped all the names of all the people in our open. I think that's what it's called. IT people call it scraping. And he ran it against all the people that they insure. And he found like 12,000 people that they insure who also did the open health insurance. And then he looked at the cost of insuring those people versus the rest of his clientele. And just like you might have thought, they had significantly less health costs. Every single aspect of their health costs was down except for orthopedic calamity. That was the only one that was up. That meaning like broken bones, fucking torn labia. It's not a labia. What's the thing in your fucking shoulder?
I
whatever the thing is in your, you know what I mean. We heard each other in CrossFit. You get that plantar fasciitis. You fucking, you get that fucked up elbow that Hiller has. Whatever the shit happens, CrossFitters. But it was so much less the cost of taking CrossFitters, taking care of CrossFitters than the general public that we were in process of figuring out. I mean, it's so obvious. And here's the thing. For those of you who want to talk about science, one of the only true sciences, like really true, and none of them are true, but the closest thing you can get to truth science is what actuaries do. Actuaries are the guys who figure out what to invest in and what to bet on in order to make money. So insurance companies are like, that's their whole shtick. How much should we charge for a black kid who's 37 years old who wants life insurance versus a guy who lives in the Palestinian territories who's 27 years old? All they're doing is fucking judging and breaking down and finding fucking the algorithm for fucking health and money and safety and all that. And all the truth lies with them, because at the end of the day, they chase the dollar and they have to make money. There's no other metric that matters.
Right.
And so labrum. Thank you, Jeff. It's the first positive thing you've contributed to the show.
Jeff thought I wanted to take away the First Amendment.
And Jeff thinks he's lost his virginity. And this guy, and they knew that CrossFitters were a fucking gold mine for fucking, if you could get them into some sort of insurance program. So let's say if the average person in the world spent $200 a month on insurance, CrossFitters only spent $2 a month, but you still charge them $100. And now you're making a fucking huge chunk of money. So everyone saves money. And it's known. It's definitely known. What a lot of insurance companies have around the world, by the way. I don't know if we have this stuff in the United States, and I think we have some of it coming to the United States. There's apps that you can turn on when you drive, and it tracks how you drive and the speed limit you go, and that adjusts your rate. But there's also apps like in Africa and in other places that this insurance company did, where they track if you go into a gym. So when you go into a gym, like you wave your phone in front of something there and you get a gym credit. I mean, and you could turn around and walk out, but basically they lower your insurance based on that too. It's interesting. It's interesting shit.
Well, like you said, they're not dealing in anything else but the facts and the statistics on the situation that are going to make money. So you don't get lost in all these conflating emotional issues. You're just looking at the numbers and giving you the best predictive value so you can place your bet. That's it.
Yes.
That's the only thing that matters. Everything else doesn't matter.
Man, I swear to God, I erase things on my notes. I don't know why they stay on there. don't know why they stay on here. Oppressed drawing, I already did that. White House Logic, I already did that. I already did the Australian guy. Why is that stuff still on here? I'm erasing it. Like right now, a Saudi ambassador dies. I erased that.
Huh.
Black Lives Matter. Cut your breasts off. We did that already.
Yep.
Oh, that one was scary. We did fat, ugly chicks at abortion rallies. We did that. Oh, 312. No rep. What's that? And that?
I'll make it up here.
When we have Nunley on and he hits the vape pen, it breaks my heart. I feel so. Oh, this is crazy. Yeah. I think we have shown this. This is worth showing again. This is the. I would argue this is the craziest thing I've ever seen at a. I'm assuming this is a CrossFit, some sort of CrossFit event.
Right. Does it need audio? I can't remember.
No, I don't think so. This is fucking nuts, dude.
Oh my goodness. She's bold. She's bold.
Hey, dude. that could have easily have killed her.
Oh yeah, especially if it chopped her in the head and then it took her, like it fell on her as against the gate at the same time.
That could easily. She died a few days ago. What? Oh, the Queen of England. That could have easily killed her. Craziest thing.
Look at this person here with their hands like, oh
yeah,
my goodness, like looking away.
Hey, that's the kind of thing. Like if there wasn't video of it and someone told you, you would struggle to believe it.
Right.
You would be like, how? How did he drop the bar over her but not hit her? Where was there room for her to go? I mean, was she lubed up? Was she covered in Astroglide? I mean, how did that get past her?
That's crazy.
Oh.
Jeff said he would call in, but he doesn't want to use up cell phone minutes. What is this? The fucking early 2000s? Who has cell phone minutes?
Please don't call in.
He's got a burner phone from 7-Eleven. It's only got 100 minutes on it.
One day Bruce Wayne's going to be drunk on the show and fucking just wax you. It doesn't matter. You're going to get just have to build a burner account to get back. Okay, so is that one was called No Rep?
No Rep.
Okay, I erased it and it's back and it just popped back up.
Where are you erasing it from?
Just right in my email. Like I have a draft email open.
Okay. Interesting.
How about 310? Vape is so addictive. This is why I get so sad when I see Nunley hitting the vape, because I don't think if you know anyone who vapes, like it's a problem. Like you're looking at a bona fide drug addict. It's like looking at someone who's like morbidly obese. It's like, oh shit, this person is. Look at this fucking shit here. This like I know how this girl dies. And the whole world knows too. I know how she dies. Look at, she takes a hit off her drink, hit off her vape to go. Like I know, I get it. I seen a drug addict. I know that's full drug addict shit. Doja doing dojo things. Doja. Dude, so you're muted. So hard to quit that shit.
She chucked that thing down.
Yeah, I so know how she dies. Hey, she has 40 of those around her house when you roll like that. It's so fucking hard to quit that thing. I fuck with that thing for a few minutes. That thing is fucking crazy.
I never liked the vape things. I never really tried them or got into it.
I don't think that was J-Lo. I think it was Doja.
J-Lo.
I don't know who Doja is. 311. Mr.
Cat.
Biden and COVID. Oh, this one's just classic. I want to say, how do you guys have any friends who were so convinced that the vaccine would work? And do you ever like show them clips like this where it's like Biden saying the vaccine would work, just take it, and like now we know it doesn't work, and like now like some of us like we even know it kills people? I mean, it's just, here we go. Biden spreading misinformation about COVID and vaccines. This is nuts. And the truth is, most of us wouldn't have even cared, except I'm fucking shadow banned. I remember when I would tell people I was shadow banned and they thought I was a crazy conspiracy theorist. And even still today, some of you will fucking text me and be like, oh shit, or DM me, shadow banned is real. I get one of those a week. Like, hey, something weird's going on Instagram. I can't tag you. You dumb fuck. This has been going on forever. They kicked the president of the United States off of Twitter.
Nuts. Look at this.
Oh, shit. Wow. Is that really true? Look her up. Didn't I just tell you I know how this ends? Dude, I'm telling you, if you know anyone who's fucking with those, it should break your heart. I know how it ends for all of you. It's not good. Doja. Okay, let's do this Biden thing and then we'll come back to it. Matthew, thank you. That's great. I don't know what your profile picture is either, but it's kind of cool. It's like lightning striking a pregnant woman. I don't know what the fuck that is. Are those mountains? I don't know what that is. I want to come back to that. Matthew Carbajal. That's a beautiful name too, Carbajal.
Hey,
okay.
You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations. Yeah. You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations. Yeah. You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
If someone 82 years old is talking to you about shit like that's not 82-year-olds have a fucking huge value to society of why shit they can tell you. Vaccine talk is not one of them, probably.
Yeah.
You just have to weigh the fact that look at the genre they came from. They came from where all faith in the medical establishment. Those are the people that think that there's actual truth. We've already established that, right? You guys know that there is no such thing as truth. That you can't know anything. All we do is try to believe things that have the greatest predictive value, but we don't know anything. You know, everyone knows that, right? There's no such thing as a gravity. It's just an idea that we use to get predictive value on how objects move around in our ecosystem. Like, everyone knows that. Like, please, we know that red doesn't actually mean stop. We just kind of agree on it so we don't get in car accidents. We know that psychiatrics. We have no idea how psychiatric drugs work. We're just like testing them out on kids. Like everyone knows that, right? Fucking, we live with nincompoops. Okay, so look up that chick Doja. Dude, you have, that thing is so scary. Those vape pens, They are the funnest thing. They're more fun than porn. They are just.
Whoops.
Yeah. Vape pens are better than Cirque du Soleil. I mean, they are so cool, but they will ruin your life. They come at the cost of your life. I mean, it's like, here's a vape pen, you're dead.
Hey, shouldn't the did you want to read that, by the way?
Doja Cat has canceled much of her anticipated summer tour to tackle health issues in her throat. I was hoping to see a picture. Can you put Doja vape?
Yeah, hold on.
You can just see the way she hits it and throws it down and run. Like, she can't do anything. Like, that's a chick who has sex and vapes at the same time.
Oh, she's 70 days free from vape.
Wow. Good honor.
There's not
Dear
any
Doja, good job.
There's not any photos, just like her hitting a vape pen.
If you do not have kids, you have no excuse to only be driving forward with plan A. Fuck plan B. No plan B. If you have kids, you have to pay me $500 and I have an hour and I can talk to you about possibly a plan B. If you don't have kids, you cannot have a plan B. And what does that look like? You are going to be the best horse jockey who ever lived on planet Earth. You have no plan B. You're completely committed to it. But what it doesn't mean is at the end of the day, you devise a new saddle for horses that replaces all previous saddles in the history of man. And you never achieve your goal to be the best horse jockey who ever lived, but you do invent the greatest saddle ever. You have to be malleable and still have no plan B. You have to be smart. You have to be intuitive. When my son today, sorry, Avi, I hate to pick on you. When my son yesterday said he was about to win the gold medal and he didn't go out and do his third match, and he said it was because he was tired. That he had a plan B.
Yeah, to not do the match.
He had a plan B. Because if his no plan B was to go and no matter what win the gold, and he didn't win the gold and he gave it his all, he still had no plan B, and there was still some other fruit he got. But he used some word that's not even a real word. I'm tired. Who made that an excuse to not do something? Why would being tired be an excuse not to do something? Who made that up? How retarded are you that you think that that's an excuse not to do something? Now, you're fucking working a sewing machine that's the most industrial sewing machine in the world, and it could easily fucking take off your finger, and you're tired. That's when you say, hey, I don't have the mental, because I've been working on this machine for 12 hours, I don't have the mental capacity to keep using it. I'm exhausted on enough levels that this machine has become dangerous. Then you do. And tired's just something to sort of encapsulate that. But to use I'm tired just as this blanket excuse not to do something. When you're doing a workout and you're not using dangerous weights and you're exhausted and you want to tap and you don't tap and you make it to the end, 100% of the time you're happy you did that. 100% of the time. So the workout is Cindy, and you tell yourself no matter what, you're going to do 20 rounds, even if you go over the 20-minute mark, and you get to 18 and you're at 27 minutes and you want to quit. You just don't. You just don't. Even if you have to go to the kitchen, get like a bitch and get a glass of water, you just don't. You go back in the garage and you finish that shit. And every time you're happy. That's no plan B. That's no plan B. You can quit. Sevan, I thought you said you can't quit vaping. I said you. Let me tell you something. What you can't quit, you can't quit the thought of vaping. That bitch wants to vape. That bitch 70 days in. She's gonna be 7,000 days in, and she's gonna still have the thought she wants to vape.
Still gonna want to. It's funny that I met.
You're here because you're upset. You have a small dick, and you're taking it out on the rest of us. That'll be $300 for that advice. No, I don't do anything for less than 500. That's 500.
When Tony Andrews put the thing about like no plan B, he was like, "Is it anti-abortion?" Every time I wear that shirt, one person asks me that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I purposely
like, is that
wear
to do
it
with
now.
Abortion?
Yeah.
No.
What does that thing look like? What is that? We only have 3 minutes left. Sorry. What does that no plan B packaging look like? What is
Josh Bridges was recently on a podcast, and I watched the first 45 seconds of it, and he used the no plan B, like the host did. He was like, "You do whatever. That sounds like that's like no plan B." And then Josh goes, "Haha, yeah." And it was funny because I was like, I wonder if in that moment he was thinking like, "Fucking Sevan, I'll send it to you. You just have to watch the first 45 seconds."
What podcast was it? Can we play that real quick?
Oh shoot, yeah. I'm gonna have to check the history because it was randomly populated on my.
What were
feed.
you about to look up though?
The no plan B pill.
Oh yeah, no plan. Want me to look that up while you look for the podcast?
Packaging. Yeah, sure. Because everything on when I searched no plan B came up with like the same type of stuff you're discussing.
I'm just gonna put plan B abortion pill. Let's see the packaging of this thing because I always hear funny shit
That'd
about
definitely
it.
do it.
Images.
Give me 1 second.
Oh shit, dude! This thing is like razors. It's all fucking locked up at the. It looks like it's all locked up at the store. Like,
well, everything's locked up now, but yeah, that's been behind the counter for sure.
So it's just this one little pill in the middle. Like it's not as much packaging as I thought. I mean, it's a lot, but. So you just. What's the definition of contraception? Is that really contraception?
Oh, he was on Shaw Strength Podcast, which is the super strong guy.
So Plan B is not contraception because contraception it prevents pregnancy. Well, Can you prevent pregnancy even when you're already pregnant? A woman can get pregnant if a man's sperm reaches one of her eggs. Okay. Contraception tries to stop this happening. Yeah. Okay. So contraception is something you use to stop the sperm from getting to the egg. That's what I thought. And so plan B, that I think that's for after the sperm gets to the egg. So it's a misnomer to call it contraception, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it'd qualify, right? Doesn't it immediately terminate the chances of the pregnancy when you take the Plan B pill?
I don't think Plan B does anything to I think it only does things to an egg that's already been fertilized. How does Plan B work?
It was Brian Shaw whose podcast he was on.
Oh, really? Brian Shaw has a podcast?
Yeah, he must have just started because I know he has a lot of YouTube subscribers, but the podcast has 20,000. But I think
that's the strongest man in the world, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Plan B acts primarily by stopping the release of an egg from the ovary. It may prevent the union of sperm and egg if fertilization does occur. Wait, how could it prevent the union? Oh, sorry. If fertilization does occur, Plan B may prevent a fertilized egg from attaching to the womb. Okay, so it's both. It's contraception and an abortion pill. It can terminate a pregnancy. All right, fine. Learn new shit every day.
Okay, well, there we go.
I'll let it slide. William Smith. Bill Smith says, Billy, hi. A Plan B stops the ova, the egg, from adhering to the uterine wall. That's where we all grow up, guys, inside the uterus. Okay. What was the other thing we're going to look up before I take Avi to tennis?
It was the Josh Bridges that podcast. Already.
Oh, so that guy Brian Shaw's a no Plan B guy. Let me see Brian Shaw.
No, he just referenced it. I wish I had it. I only listened to a couple minutes.
You fucking knucklehead will never succeed at a podcast, Mr. Shaw. Do you know why? It's too hard. It's too hard. Just lift heavy shit up.
You know what else is weird too? And this has happened because of this show is if the podcast that I'm listening to doesn't start out comfortable right away, I feel uncomfortable listening to it. As they're trying to I'm watching it right now and you could tell Josh is trying to get comfortable and Brian's kind of doing this lead in with it and stuff, but it feels very awkward.
Yeah, you have to wait 15 minutes till they.
Yeah, and then I can't.
I feel that every time I watch Rogan too. It's a 15-minute entry period. I'm like, dude.
It's secondhand embarrassment or secondhand awkward feeling. Thanks for having me on here. I'm so stoked to be on here. I'm reading to chat it up.
Okay, so tonight we have Jacob Rodriguez on at 6:00. He is the Nicky Rodriguez's brother. He went undefeated in his West Coast ADCC qualifications. Basically, he's going to compete on September 16th to be the greatest jiu-jitsu fighter of all time in his weight class, but probably in the overall too. And he's Nicky Rod's little brother. And what he did to get to the Abu Dhabi Combat Club Championships is fucking nuts. He went 7 for 7 in tap outs. And I think he's only been doing jiu-jitsu for maybe 2 years, 1 year. And then after that show, we will take a small break, 15-minute break, and we will come back later on in the evening with Brian Brian Friend, and we'll be doing I'll just be hanging out. He'll be doing a review of whatever the fuck CrossFitters are doing in Madrid right now. So that's what we got for tonight. All right, guys. Sousa, thanks for coming on. The guest that stiffed us, I don't hate you, but may the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your armpits. Thank you.